Hello friends, welcome to IT Job Pulse. Today is 18th video of PMP training program. So far, I can say that 60% of the portion is covered, and this is real PMP job training. Okay, so this will help you a lot in terms of cracking the interview and also after getting into the job as well. So as you are aware, we are talking about quality management. So far we have made two videos on this topic, and four are still left. Okay, so you can consider this one as a third video: quality in waterfall, agile, and hybrid. So these are nothing but the methodologies used in software development lifecycle, and also in other projects also it is used. But uh, as you know, we are into IT, and what is our channel name? It is IT Job Pulse. Okay, how your project checks for mistakes based on how you run the show. So if I have to tell that the toughest part is not about budget management, not the stakeholder management, not anything. Okay, so it is the toughest part that you tell someone that this is a mistake and we need to improve on it. Okay, because I remember one of the books which I was reading. The name of the book was How to Win Friends and Influence People. And you can also read if you want to improve your communication skills, your speaking skills. So the author begins with the story of a criminal who murdered a few people. Like I don't know the exact number, but it was good, like 10, 20 something. And when asked him, why did you kill all of these people? So he said that because they did something due to which I killed them. That means he did not accept his mistake, that he killed them by himself. Okay. So no matter who the person is, they have a mindset and that they are not willing to accept the mistake. Uh, I will also say that, I have developed this mindset that I accept mistakes. Okay. And I improve on that. So that is where you grow as a person. But generally, I notice that in corporate life, they will throw the football of, let's say football is a mistake. Okay, someone else has done it, but they will throw the football to you. So uh, there are two ways: either you say that okay, it's my mistake, or you can just give explanation and you can validate that it was not you. Okay, so let's get started. Slide two, what's quality in projects? Before I get into that, it's just not about corporate life or job. It's the common thing that we always want to say that I didn't do that. Someone else has done it. Okay. So what's quality in projects? We have already discussed in previous videos, but I want to give you a simple example. Imagine quality like a food delivery. Okay. Planning quality is nothing but choosing the right recipe, right? So if you want to deliver a food, and let's say if you want to make a dish, let's say uh, I will say veg pulao. Okay. So while making veg pulao, you need to make sure that you are choosing the right recipe for that veg pulao rice. Okay. Then assurance quality is nothing but making sure the chef knows how to cook. Now, assurance is something, how would we assure that whatever we are preparing, that is good in quality? So the way is very simple, that the chef knows how to cook it. Okay. What if a chef doesn't know it? Then we will train the chef. Okay. Control quality. Testing the food before sending it to the customer. Now, uh, before you send this food to the customer, you need to make sure that you test it, not the entire food order, but some part of it, and also not some part of it, extra part. Actually, I will say in terms of food delivery, you need to make some little extra quantity so that you can test that extra quantity and then you can send the food order to the customer. So all in all, you can understand it's like there are three stages, and you will get the idea what is quality in projects. Every project needs all three, but how and when you do them depends on the method you follow, that is waterfall, agile, or hybrid. So this sentence says that uh, irrespective of any methodology you use, these three stages are there, and how and when you use it based on the methodology you're using it. Waterfall quality in the one shot model. So let's understand the first, that is waterfall. Let's plan everything first and test it later, hopefully before the client panics. Why it is mentioned? Uh, hopefully before the client panics, because in waterfall we prepare everything and we test at the end, and it is given to the client or the stakeholders. Okay, how waterfall manages quality? Quality planning, first point, done at the very beginning. Everything is decided, what's good, what's acceptable, and how it will be tested. So we decide everything and we do it at the beginning. Okay, we will deliver only three bugs, all cosmetic. Okay, so there are a set of parameters like we set, and we make sure that we deliver that only thing which we have committed, nothing more than that. No change is accepted. Quality assurance happens while building. Like you can connect with the example of food delivery order. Same way, while developing the software, we take care of a quality assurance. Also, at the time of process audits, checklists, review, formal and step like. So you know that if you're a experienced person, then you know that there are some processes which we follow, right? There are some checklists we need to tick that whether it is right or wrong. Then we need to check with the review of the clients or the end user. Did you follow the 47 step release checklist? So it is not necessary that it has to be 47 step. Uh, like it can differ from project to project. Okay. Quality control happens only at the end. Okay, so planning at the very beginning, assurance while building, and at the end means that the entire software is developed, and then we will do the testing, not in the between. Okay, big testing phase before delivery. So here is 183 bugs we found a day before we go live. I can definitely relate to this situation because in one of the projects, like not I can call it just a project. It was a big product development which we were doing. So it was like again a global project, a global product development, and 63 countries were involved in that product development. So not a 183 bucks, but close to 150 bucks we uh, we found in production environment. That is when the first release happened, when it went live. The reason was the organization was going through a uh, big 360-degree transformation, and organization structure was also getting changed. Okay, so a lot of changes were happening, so it was accepted. Okay, and by the way, this happened in Agile, not in Waterfall. Okay, Waterfall planning. Waterfall is like cooking biryani for a wedding and finding out at the end that half the guests are vegetarian. So waterfall is like, like I have written some jokes here just to make it interesting and fun activity of learning. But waterfall has its own advantages. More or less, it's really good methodology where, let's say you have a software as a service which is already developed, okay, or any other product which is already available in the market, and you need only specific those things. Let's say you want e-commerce application like Amazon. Okay, so you know that this Amazon e-commerce application is already built. So you will not take all the functions of Amazon e-commerce application. You will take your required functions from them and you will build it, because in waterfall, if you follow this methodology waterfall, you can have a faster results. But if the change is required, then waterfall is not recommended at all. So as you, so here moral is you planned everything except reality. Okay. Again, jokes apart, but more or less, in today's world, in today's fast-paced world, I believe uh, waterfall will be used, but most of the time you will see the approach will be, it will be hybrid, not pure agile. Okay. Agile now, quality in the test, fast, fail fast, fix fast model. So it is a problem. Notice that like if you see there are people who have worked in waterfall, they will find it agile little challenging because agile is about change. Let's keep improving quality every 2 weeks and have fun doing it. Now, if you notice, we are not talking about improvement part in waterfall. In fact, what we are saying at the end, like let's say we spend 6 months, at the end we will test the product for 6 months. But in agile, we build the product, not complete product. Okay, MVP is nothing but minimum viable product. Okay, so we deliver that first, and then we break down the entire product into epics. Epics, nothing but like, you know, I will not get into the depth of it now. Just you can understand things because otherwise the video length will be very much high. So again, epics breaking down into uh, user stories and so on. Okay. So here, what we are doing, let's say there are 10 functions of the product which you need to develop. So out of that, which are really most important and minimum required, like which we can go live with and the business can start. Okay. So we will pick three functions out of 10 and we will build those in first release. And during this, like we will not only build, and as soon as we build it, we test it immediately whether it is working properly or not. Okay. So that's what Agile is about. So you will understand how Agile manages quality planning happens at the start of every sprint. So sprint is nothing but, a cycle which we consider, as I mentioned, like let's say if we have taken three functions, three features to be developed. So we will have a 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks a sprint. So my observation is more or less people use it 2 weeks a sprint. But if you ask me, it has to be minimum 3 weeks. That's the best practice I can recommend. But we can't help it. Organization has their own goals. Okay. Definition of done includes quality rules, like example, P1 bugs. So again, this is a term which you need to explore and we will understand in coming videos. Definition of done, you can understand it like the by the sentence itself. Like we will have some criterias to be mentioned that this function is developed. Okay, this is tested and it is ready to go live. Okay, that is what the meaning of a definition of done. Quality assurance, everyone owns it, developers, testers, even the product owner. Now, in pure Scrum framework, okay, we don't have testers, okay. So that's where my point is. You will rarely find that a project getting completed without tester. So that's my point. It's never a pure agile followed in most of the organizations. So let me put it in a simple way. So mostly you will find it like some companies are using 40% waterfall, 60% agile, 80% waterfall, 20% agile. Okay. So it's a combination of both. But if you read the Scrum guide, it says that the Scrum team is of product owner, Scrum master, and then developers. Okay. There is no designation of tester as well. So if your question is who will do the testing, then developers will do the testing more or less because the one who builds it, that person needs to test it. And if required, Scrum master will also do the testing. Product owner also will do the testing. Okay. I know some of you say that it is not the right practice, but you can go back and read Scrum guide. And also, I am open for feedback. You can comment your observations as well. Includes pair programming, code reviews, automation. Okay. So whatever I told you, just like developing the function, code reviews, and whatever automation is there. So we are making sure that as soon as we are building it, we are testing it. A QA starts from line one of code. Okay. So this work is like specific, whatever we are doing, we that needs to be consistently audited, checked, and improved as well. It's just not that we will just find the issues. Okay. Quality control happens during the sprint. So during the sprint, you can relate to the example of like we make sure that while developing the functions, let's say again, we will go back to three functions. Okay. So this is in process. We are developing it, and we make sure that we have a quality control here. Regular testing, demos, and user feedback. So we test the features, functions, okay, and after doing the testing, we give the demos to the stakeholders, and we also collect user feedback as well. Oh, you don't like the green button? Next sprint, it's blue. So Agile is more flexible and it's about change. So joke time. Agile is like trying to clean your room while your mom keeps shouting new instructions every 2 minutes. So moral is you keep adjusting, but the pressure never ends. Okay. So one thing is common in Agile. You might feel pressure because as soon as we see that something needs to be changed, okay, we think about it will be difficult, it will be challenging. Yes, agile is challenging, but at the same time, it provides a good value, not only to the clients, but also to the team. Like whatever we are building, it is coming with good quality. So I want to share my one example of like when I started my entrepreneurship journey before 10 years to be precise, and I had a budget of roughly 20,000 rupees, 20 to 25,000 rupees. So I wanted to build a tech application, Android application for my institute. So because I had only 20,000 rupees, I tried that doing 26 times. Okay, so that means I failed 26 times for building a mobile application and website both. Okay, and you can count the amount which I have invested. So you can say that I learned over there a lot. I will say it's a high paid entrepreneurship school which I have gone through, and that has helped me a lot in my job life. Okay. Hybrid quality in the corporate jugaad model. So jugaad we already know. Okay, so it's kind of adjustment. We want full planning, but also daily changes and five approvals and magic. Okay, so hybrid is nothing but we plan things, but we can change things, but it will go through approval. Now if you say that what happens in waterfall, so waterfall is like more rigid, and it's like you cannot change anything. Let's say you ask for a change, it will not happen. They will say no. But if client is insisting a lot, if the adjustments can be made, then but then it is possible that a change can happen in waterfall also. But it is very rare, like one or two times. But in agile, three times, four times, five times, it happens. So you can understand the difference between waterfall, agile, and hybrid. How hybrid manages quality. Quality planning, same thing. Big plan at the start, waterfall style, gets refined in each sprint, agile style. So if I tell you about agile, at the beginning, we don't plan too much. Okay. We start. Okay. But in hybrid, we follow the method for planning waterfall style. And as we progress, as we go into the sprints, we make changes. We have three quality gates and two escape routes. Okay, so quality assurance, combo of checklists plus DevOps, maybe a smile from the PM. So checklist, like it is taking from the waterfall thing. Okay, DevOps is something which is part of the development, and it's just uh, joke. Okay, don't tell in the interview that quality assurance is done with a smile from the PM. Okay, so quality checklist of combos plus DevOps. Teams often confused who's responsible. Yeah. So when we have a approach like hybrid, like we don't understand who will do what. The roles are not clear, but This is manageable. This is not a big challenge. Okay. Quality control, that is, happens in each sprint and during milestone reviews. Okay. Reporting goes to both Agile boards and Excel sheets for compliance. Okay. Hybrid joke. Okay. Hybrid is like wearing a formal shoes with track pants. You are ready for both the boredom, bore, room, and the gym, but you confuse everyone. So see, it's about budget. Okay. So as per the budget, most of the companies will go for hybrid model. Okay. Because pure agile, it is very rare to find. Moral here is half plan, half flexibility equal to full drama. How quality differs across methods. Now it's a comparison table. Okay. So quality planning in waterfall is once at the start we discussed agile every sprint at the start and refined often. So at the start and during the sprints as well. Okay. Quality assurance, document based, process heavy, team owned, built into dev, mixed formal plus agile practices. I'm just reading it because we have already done it. Quality control end of the project in waterfall, sprint wise in agile, sprint plus release gate testing, error fixing, expensive, late stage. Okay. Early often easy, depends on process maturity. So error fixing, like any bug issues there. So in waterfall, it is expensive because that is not covered in the planning. Okay. And it's like happens at the very late stage after the development of entire, because at the end we are testing the product. Okay. Early often easy, that means ongoing activity. Okay. Depends on process maturity. Like in hybrid also it is ongoing, but uh, some of the things are fixed. Okay. Wherever there is applicable, it is ongoing. Okay. Stakeholder feedback comes too late at the end. Okay. Comes early and often. This is like ongoing activity. Comes midway, often ignored. So no, it's not ignored actually, but uh, it's like you can understand hybrid. Okay. Not the frequency is very high here. Here is zero frequency for feedback or anything or any change. Okay. Here it's kind of a mixed frequency. Waterfall is like going on a long road trip without GPS. Agile is like asking for directions at every turn. Great. Hybrid is like arguing with Google Maps and you are backseat driver. So you can relate. Choosing your quality style. Choose based on your risk level. Waterfall, banking, healthcare. Okay. So it does not necessarily that every organization will use waterfall for banking and healthcare. Speed and change, agile is equal to e-commerce startups. Okay. Balance is equal to hybrid, big IT services firm, agile in name companies. Okay. Okay. So even though I have mentioned like this is just a normal observation. Okay. But more or less, the industry is following hybrid methodology. 99%. Fun rule of thumb. If your client says we want agile but with all documents and no mistakes, it's hybrid, not a miracle. Okay. So documentation, yes, it happens in Agile, but it's like in Agile more about it's time bound, okay? And documentation, yes, it is important. Minimum documentation is done, and in Agile we value people, end user, and the process over documents, okay? So this is what now final takeaways. Quality isn't just testing at the end, it's baked into how you work, okay? But depends upon the methodology. Again, if you are doing waterfall, if you are certain, and if you already have proven product with you, or even if it is SaaS, that is software as a service, waterfall delivers quality once with confidence and payers. Agile delivers quality frequently with feedback and speed. Hybrid delivers quality twice and reviews it 4 times. Okay. So we have already discussed no matter the method, your project survives if your quality plan does. Okay, I mentioned it. Whatever method you're following, but if you are following quality plan, then definitely you will succeed. Now the final one, that is, how do you identify the method from the bugs? If bugs show up at the end, it's waterfall. If bugs show up every sprint, agile. If bugs show up, disappear, and then return with a new name, hybrid. So it's like, it's a like joke, but more or less bugs can happen at any stage. Okay, even if it is agile, it might be possible that you in fact, I remember one of the interviews where the interviewer was asking me that when the developer is testing his when he's doing testing at his end, everything is good. Okay, but when stakeholders are testing it, clients, then they're getting a lot of bugs. Okay, so I came up with the solution that we have to have a collaboration with the developers and the business stakeholders in order to make sure that things happen in front of developers and the business stakeholders. So I probably that's the best solution we can have. So thank you so much for today's attendance, and hope you have enjoyed the session. You have liked it. If you have any feedback, please do share in the comments. Till then, take care. Catch you soon. Bye bye.